Good morning, Keith Tebow from FRCmedia. Thank you for joining us today. During the pandemic, we have done a lot to focus on the issue of food insecurity in our region. It's been, of course, more acute during the COVID-19 pandemic as more people are seeking assistance and seeking ways to sustain themselves through food pantries and the like. But a part of this that I want to explore a little bit more today is healthy eating, fruits and vegetables. And in some respects, that involves our local farmers and our local agricultural industry in Southeastern Massachusetts. And today we're going to talk about the Southeastern Massachusetts Agricultural Partnership, also known as SEMAP. And they've played an important role in not only food security here in our region, but healthy eating in general. And I'm pleased to be joined this morning by the Executive Director of SEMAP, Karen Schwalbe. Karen, thank you for joining me this morning. How are you?
I'm very well, Keith. Thank you for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to do this. Tell us a little bit for people who do not know what the partnership is about and how it serves our local region.
So SEMAP is what's called a buy local organization. We support farmers, promote local food across Bristol, Plymouth, and Norfolk counties. So that area encompasses about 75 towns and municipalities, cities, including 4 gateway cities. And we work with farmers to educate for better business management, marketing, outreach, to help them farm better and reach their clients better. And then we promote local food to those communities so that people know where to find their local food, their farms, their farm stands, community-supported agriculture.
Now, is the organization a membership organization or just an advocacy organization?
A little bit of both. We certainly
Yep.
appreciate our members. We have both farmer members and personal members who are interested in supporting CMAP's work, but our work goes beyond our membership. Our goal is to promote all farms, all food across the region.
So let me ask you, in terms of our regional farmers, how have they been impacted this year by COVID-19? We've talked a lot about how businesses have struggled, forced to close because of restrictions in terms of safety and health. How, in general, have our farmers fared this year?
They have adapted. In some cases, there have been struggles to meet all of the state guidelines. Farmers markets have had specific requirements to open set by the Board of Health, but the farmers have done a tremendous job in meeting all of the requirements and the needs. It's certainly important for farmers to have their own bubble and protect their farm workers, so they're very careful about that with protective equipment, the appropriate social distancing. Losing a farm worker in the middle of the season is impossible to replace, so they've been very careful about keeping themselves healthy and abiding by the regulations that are needed. For the actual business of farmers, once they've got their ducks in a row meeting the requirements, demand has been huge. I mean, I think we've all realized with COVID how important our local supply chains are, where the meatpacking industries were hit very hard by COVID. We know that a shorter supply chain just gives us more control over our own food supply. And Massachusetts farms are certainly innovative and very good at doing direct market sales. So they're able to meet demand quickly, pivot quickly, and have done a good job at keeping up with the supply that's been, or the demand that's been so overwhelming almost at times for people who want to have access to local food. One of the local delivery dairies has a 500-person waiting list. In Westport at Meatworks, there's a huge line just to be able to get in to get a booking to have their meat processed. So there's, very good engagement by the farmers with their customers and, through farmers markets, farm stands, and their community-supported agricultures.
One of the things that, I've asked a lot of industries is any farms that may have struggled early on with the pandemic, were they able to get any type of financial assistance from the federal government as other industries have?
So there are programs for farmers who have suffered losses. CFAP, I think it's called, and I can't give you the acronym. There's a second round of that going on right now. But most of our farmers aren't falling into that category. We're not a large commodity farm state. Most of our sales are directly to consumers. And since there haven't been a lot of losses, most of our farms, especially in Southeastern Mass, haven't gone through that government program. Massachusetts has done something very innovative, though. The Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs and the Mass Department of Agriculture put together a food security infrastructure grant. And that was to help farmers and food-related businesses adapt to COVID and overall make Massachusetts food supply more secure. So that grant program has just ended, and they're in the process of reviewing it. The whole program for the state was $36 million. Projects have been funded across Southeastern Massachusetts to do things like add refrigeration or a refrigerated delivery truck or improved produce washing stations. There are certainly lots of projects coming in that we haven't heard about that could be very exciting for the region.
Right. I want to get into where we normally see a lot of our farmers throughout the summer and early fall is at these farmers markets. And it's getting more important than ever that, in terms of the public farmers markets that are out there, of course, there still needs to be an adherence to social distancing and mask wearing. But in terms of this farmers market season, Karen, how have the farmers fared in terms of their markets?
The markets have been very good. The market managers have done a great job at adapting to the state regulations. There are certainly issues like 6-foot distancing. Some of the indoor markets, can only have a certain number of people in the room or at any one time. But in good signage, good support from the state, from the mass farmers markets, the work that CMAP's done in helping the markets get ready. And so the farmers themselves come in and, demand, there are lines, that just is par for the course right now. People want food. Sales have been very, very good. There are, I would say we've had a few exceptions. There are some areas where businesses have not come back to work in cities or towns, and those markets where the foot traffic was the primary driver, some of those markets have had have fewer customers and had, just less of a successful season. But overall, the season has been good.
Yeah. I want to get into now how farmers have played a role in the food insecurity issues that we've been seeing for a long time for many people, but accelerated, if you will, during COVID. We all want to eat healthier. That's a goal of many of us, and I know that local farmers have played a role. Last week, we had a camera at one of the farmers markets that was at Health First in Fall River, allowing people the opportunity to get fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's part of a wider strategy, I guess, in terms of food pantries and the like, helping people out. How has CMAP and CMAP members, Karen, helped in that endeavor, and especially those who need it most, being able to get subsidies and help in helping them eat healthy with fruits and vegetables?
Yeah. There are some good food access programs that farmers are participating in. CMAP has been working with our partners in Fall River to put together 3 farmers markets so that those incentives can be used within the city. There are 3 markets running right now. Doolin Apartments down in the south end behind Savers, and that complex there runs on Tuesdays from 2 to 5. There's the Health First Market that you guys were at last week on Quarry Street, and that runs on Wednesdays from, 2 to 4, I think. And yep. And then Friday is Cardinal Maderos Towers, and that is also 2 to 5. And there are 3 ways you can kind of get access beyond your dollars in your pocket for these farmers markets. You can use SNAP, which some households who have experiencing food access issues have a SNAP card or an EBT card, and those dollars can be used at all of our farmers markets. If you have SNAP, and then you have what's called HIP, the Healthy Incentives Program. And that is extra dollars for fruits and vegetables that is already on your card. It's no extra application. There's nothing you have to turn on. You just have to find the farmer's market in the city that's taking it. Any one of those three will do it. And you will have access to, depending on your household size, 40, 60, or 80 extra dollars per month to use at the farmers market for fruits and vegetables. And that's a great program run and funded by the state with the support of the local legislators here, which has been tremendous. And then we also have a federal program through the USDA called the Farmers Market Nutrition Program Coupons. And that is for people on WIC or seniors with certain income requirements. And they can go to their service providers, whether it's a senior center or your WIC office, Coastline Elderly, in the summer, and you get a book of coupons, and those coupons can be used at the farmers markets as well. Those coupons are good until the end of October.
Mm. So from what you're seeing in terms of the farmers markets and other initiatives of local farmers, are they seeing an increase in terms of the usage of these benefits that people are taking advantage of thus far this year?
Yeah, there's certainly been an increase, and it's a program that's fairly new, especially within the city itself. There was a market run by Groundwork South Coast 2 years ago. And then down in the Flint neighborhood. And then we started the Health First market last year and expanded it to 3 markets this year to make sure that across the city, it would be easy to get to a market and those benefits can be used. But we are still working on the outreach and education for that program constantly. All of the buy locals across Massachusetts are involved in that effort to make sure that people who need access to healthy fruits and vegetables know where to find their farmers who are taking those incentive programs.
Yeah. I know in a city like Fall River, we always don't, picture an urban community in relation to farms, but it's equally important, as you mentioned. That's where we rely on local farmers to get our produce week in and week out, and not only through these farmers markets and food pantries, but also in our local stores. A lot of local farmers contribute to what we eat every week. And I'm glad to speak with you, Karen. I want to thank you for your time today, and all the best with SEMAP and local farmers. We'll have to catch up again soon. I appreciate it.
So. Thank you, Keith.
All right. And thank you for joining us today here at FRC Media. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great day.